Let's talk about trends in sustainable packaging materials and sustainable packaging to supersize and grow your business. Sustainable packaging strategies. Sustainability is a trend that's here to stay. Making the world a better place, doing what's right for the environment and for humanity is always going to be popular no matter what. And making decisions that make the world a better place will help your business to stand out and your brand to stand out, whether you're actually creating a physical product or not. I learned a lot about this in my decades in the Italian food manufacturing business. We started out, our packaging was the old like meat tray styrofoam because we made a USDA regulated product. So we use these the different colored foam trays, and then we double overwrap with plastic wrap and labels and things. It was a labor intensive process. It was actually cost effective at the time we established that process, but over time we realized that it wasn't the best way to do things. So in continuous improvement fashion, we are always looking for ways to improve and make our packaging better. Number one, for handling it and manufacturing it. Number two, for the customers, so that they would have a way to use the packaging better. So we went from that to Ziploc freezer bags that we labeled, and customers liked that better and asked for that. But then we realized we could go a step further and we could use reusable, recyclable packaging. And so that's what we started doing. And we did that with our sauces and with our ravioli and with our cannelloni and manicotti and the other products and services we made. The only thing that wasn't super user friendly was our Italian garlic bread packaging. It was pretty much bread. You had to throw the package away. It was paper. We used paper ones and plastic overlay. So they were both recyclable, but still was not perfect when I exited that business. And so I'm sure that it's continued to improve and packaging continues to improve. And that's why I want to talk about it. Whether you have a manufacturing business, whether you create products and services, you may resell products and services. So you should care about how they're manufactured, how they're packaged. And there's a lot of mistakes that we make when it comes to packaging. One of them is excessive packaging. Have you ever gotten a package and you open it and you're like, wow, this is really cool packaging, but it's like way over the top of what's necessary to package and protect the product or service. I think of Amazon. When you get shipments, sometimes you'll have this giant box and inside it will be one little thing and all kinds of packaging materials. To me, that is an example of excessive packaging and not necessarily in an area that they could continually improve in, which I'm sure they've got people working on, right? Amazon is a company that tries to stay on the leading edge of a lot of different things, but there's an example of somebody that sells a whole lot of other people's products and services. And so they don't always have control over the packaging. However, they wield a lot of power, and so they probably can exercise some control over that. So why do we care about it? Well, number one, we care about the environment. We all have to live on the same planet. We want to look for different categories of packaging. They now categorize packaging in different impacts on the environment. I call it. There's biodegradable, there's recyclable, there's reusable, there's compostable, there's plant-based packaging, which wasn't around when I was still making Italian food. There's minimalist packaging, which you see a lot more of nowadays as consumers weigh in on what they want to see for packaging and what kind of an imprint they want you to make on the world as you're creating products. Symptoms and signs of unsustainable practices are excessive dependence on plastic. Guess what? As a world, we are excessively dependent on plastic because plastic and plastic extrusion, I can't even say it today. And anyway, extruding plastic into forms that we can use for water bottles, for pop bottles. I would say the beverage industry is a huge contributor to, and now it's, recyclable plastic. Used to be reusable and rewashable and returnable bottles. If you're old enough like me, you can remember that. But it happened because certain industries drove packaging, and the tools and dyes and the equipment to produce those packages is super duper expensive. I don't know if you're at all familiar with those industries, but they have huge overhead and infrastructure costs. So a lot of what drives packaging decisions and packages that are available is determined by cost, consumer desire. If your customers are clamoring for you to be more globally friendly and eco-friendly, you're going to find solutions because that's a bigger problem for you as a business and for their desires. And so you'll find solutions and you'll create solutions that maybe haven't even existed yet. But usually cost considerations is the number one driver of decisions, right? And especially business decisions. A lack of awareness, lack of knowing what's possible and what's out there is another problem that causes organizations and us sometimes to use packaging that's less than optimal for the world and for our customers and for us. Once we discovered that Ziploc bags and we got the processes down to use them and package in them, we actually cut our packaging time in half as part of our processes. So it was a win-win for our customers and a win for us and a win for the USDA. Everybody won in that situation. Limited infrastructure. If we don't have limited infrastructure, or if we as consumers that are clamoring and requesting certain things about our packaging, sometimes we'll do that versus doing the best thing for the environment, which, again, that's always a business decision. So what are some of the things we need to consider when it comes to packaging or partnering with people that will do our packaging for us? A lot of times we come up with an idea for a product and we have someone else actually manufacture, package, and even deliver it to our customers for us. That does not negate our responsibility in knowing what they're doing and what they're delivering, how they're delivering it, and how they're manufacturing and producing it. If I designed a t-shirt that I know is made in a sweatshop in a third world country by slave children, guess what? I'm not going to use that. I'm never going to use that, but it's my responsibility to know what and where that's coming from, not necessarily the person that's providing it. Yes, I'd like them to let me know that that's what they're doing because I wouldn't work with them, but it's up to me and it's always my responsibility. Everything that happens in my business and in your business, you don't get to say, oh, I didn't know, because guess what? Something like that coming out can absolutely positively destroy your brand and your business. So what are some of the ways that we can make sure? Number one, become aware, educate yourself on what's possible, pick and choose vendors or people to partner with that are in alignment with your goals and values and what it is that you're trying to create in the world. There's material substitutions nowadays. There's packaging optimization that we can focus on. There are collaborative partnerships with eco-friendly organizations. They're popping up all the time with the emphasis on making the world a better place and the economy and ecology and climate change and all the other things that are hot right now. So it might mean we have to do a little more homework to grow and build our business, but isn't it worth it to create things that are consistent with who you are and your core values so your business can thrive and serve the people that we're here to serve? Love to know what you're doing. Do you have any products that you have to consider packaging? Do you send anything to your customers and clients, or is it all digital? And guess what? Even digitally, we need to be aware of certain things. And that, to me, falls more under the guidelines of security and data security and deliverability and customer experience. But that's a topic for another day. All right, that's all I've got today. I'd love to know your experience with packaging. And even if you write a book and it's printed and etc., there's things to consider. So curious if you've had to think about this at all, or if you're thinking about it at all. Share your experience in the comments below so we can learn from one another. And I will, of course, be with you tomorrow with another way to supersize and grow your business, starting as soon as today. Have an awesome day.